Good morning, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. Fresh Squeeze is a quick reminder that you can do the things you need to do for yourself with your money and a few tips to help you get started. Today's theme is a woman's guide to investing in herself. My name is Kelly Reddy-Heffner, and although there is no one-size-fits-all solution to your finances, you can start somewhere to work towards what you want to accomplish. So it feels like every episode of Fresh Squeeze mentions budget, and that is because there is no substitute for your expenses being lower than your income. The cost of purchasing the same item from 5 years ago has gone up. You know that because you feel the cost of those things every time you shop. Inflation is when the cost of goods and services increases over time. And there are several factors, including the cost to produce that item or service, that influences that inflation. Other things that can be influencers are wages going up for workers, profitability margins from the company changing. But the one piece of the inflation puzzle that we have a little bit of control over is that demand being higher than supply can influence that inflation as well. So one way to decrease our expenses is by shifting demand away from products or services we previously prioritized when they don't meet our needs in terms of affordability. So budget. Number 2 is mindset. We look around and think we see reality in how other people live and what they can do. It can be easy in the current environment of instant access to information to see the things and make the assumptions. Unfortunately, we are simply seeing a snapshot of a situation. Even when someone discloses what we interpret as a truth, their salary, their savings, the cost of an item, their capacity to do things, we are simply seeing either a partial or potentially a complete untruth. We have to be strong enough to know our truth. So you have to find your own growth mindset and focus on what you can and cannot do despite the noise around you. Easier said than done. It is a practice. You can choose to practice truthful disclosure of your own if that's what you choose, but ultimately don't assume what others are doing is exactly what's happening. So choose your mindset, control what you can control. After you've created your budget for the year and you've looked at your income and expenses and made decisions about how to make your expenses lower than your income, make sure you have an emergency fund put aside. So that emergency fund is key to managing a difficult financial situation should it arise unexpectedly. A job loss, a health issue, a car repair, a home repair. We joke all the time, there's always something. Every pay period, every month, expect the unexpected. So I recommend 3 to 6 months in a high yield savings account. Keep an eye on the savings rate and the high yields as they can fluctuate and change with changes with the Federal Reserve. But in savings, liquid, available. You want to create those separate buckets for your goals and have a visual about those items and be very specific about when you want to do the things. I recommend automating savings for those buckets per pay or per month and watch your progress. Spending only on those buckets when you have the money saved in the bucket to do so. Be realistic about your average monthly expenses. One of the biggest challenges to successfully navigating a budget is failure to recognize the impact of categories like wellness, travel, shopping, entertainment. If you put a number in that box in the budget, that is the number. If you put that actual item or items or services on a credit card, that credit card number needs to match the number in the budget box. If you constantly have credit card bills that are higher than what your budget allows for, you're not budgeting the right number in the right boxes. You deserve to feel the power of a balanced budget as much as the perceived feeling of good fun from a sweater, the fancy meal out, the trip that you actually can't afford, and then feel awful about afterwards. Once you have confirmed your budget will allow for it, contribute to your workplace retirement plan to the employer offered match. Take the risk tolerance questionnaire and select an investment portfolio that matches your risk and goals. Seek help if you are unsure. Letting contributions sit in cash is not taking full advantage of the opportunity to invest and let it grow for use in retirement. A lot of people talk Roth, and that can be a really good option or a less good option depending on your circumstances. So again, if you're considering that, get help and ask the right questions, or talk to someone who will know the right questions to ask to help you. Do you have a health savings account, HSA, as part of your workplace benefits? If yes, are you contributing to maximize your pre-tax contribution options and to ensure that you have saved the deductible and potentially an out-of-pocket maximum for your health insurance if a health event were to occur at some point? If you get to this point in the conversation and have checked each of these items off your list, emergency fund, retirement contribution to match, HSA if applicable, you might not have an HSA option, and you have the capacity left to save, that is a fantastic situation to be in, and it's time to consider your next options. If you are not able to do these things, it is also time to figure out why you can't and how to change that. So invest in yourself. Today's fresh slice is get the help that you need to do the good things with your money. If you have questions, get the answers. But again, having that capacity to be able to put money aside and do those savings and investment goals is important, and you deserve the opportunity to do so. Have a great Monday. It is freezing cold here. I hope that you are somewhere warmer, but if you're not, stay cozy. And again, thank you so much for being here. Do the good things.